only stuff that's not going to go in the morning is going to be the problem waste stuff and landfill. Our higher purpose is to help anybody who wants to reduce their ecological impact through whatever activity it is that they do. Most of our recycling goes to China, and they've now got a really strict rule around contamination, and that cream is a contaminant. So if we were to put that in a recycling bin, that jeopardises everything else in the bin, because if they see that, and it's all optics, you know, it's quite computerised, then they literally switch and a different chute takes it and it all goes to landfill. Yeah. You know, there was a time when we thought that we could just sort of work with events to introduce washable plates and cups and cutlery, and that would be enough. But the reality that we saw, even at the events that we've done that at, was that there would just be skip loads of rubbish left and collected at the end of the event. When we looked at the contents of what were in these skips, I've sort of estimated that only about 20%, 30% maximum, probably could even only be 10%, was true landfill. So that's when I thought of the term maximum diversion. The show committee were able to provide me with how much waste they had last year in terms of volume. So I've committed to them that we're going to reduce their waste to landfill by 90%. Last year they had 60 wheelie bins of landfill waste. Our goal is to have 6 or less. A lot of events are moving to compostable plates and cups and all the rest of it, and they're much more expensive than the conventional single-use plastics. But what is the point of asking all of the food and drink vendors to pay more money for compostable products if they're all going to landfill anyway? That's actually worse than using single-use plastics, because compostable materials in landfill will break down, whereas plastic is inert. Plastic in landfill won't break down. And anything in landfill that breaks down, there's chemical reactions going on that generate greenhouse gases. So we are keeping our eye on the landfill that we're collecting, because we're hoping to end up with less than 6 240 litre wheelie bins. So that is 10%.
So what we're doing is we're going around and we're just checking the bins, we're checking that they're not overflowing. If they are, I've got one to kind of collect it into, and then it's taken back to our sorting bench waste station to be sorted into the different categories. Here is the bars area, so we've got a crate here where they can put all their Scotch cardboard, and the same thing soft plastics, because they're just using mainly that, the ice bags is soft plastic, and then they've got the boxes of beers.
I'm Barry Reid, I'm the licensee, and so all of the cans and everything that we've got, they're all going in the appropriate bins. We're recycling what we can, and I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Just so you know, mate, I've got one of these behind you for food scraps. I don't know if you saw that. We've provided the food vendors with some buckets for their food scraps, so they can put them there instead of into just the landfill bin, and it makes it easier, it's fast to sort. So then we don't have to get the food scraps back in a mixed bin and take it out ourselves. It's already separate, and then that's getting composted by Conscious Ground in Myocum. I just had a lovely conversation with a worker about the water refill stations, and she was saying how cool they were. And she said, "Who put these up?" And I said, "Us, it's this awesome organisation that they've got. They're just around the corner there. Okay, you can't really miss them." Yeah, so I said that they kindly lent to us by meat pack. And I said, "Tell all your friends, look for the library stuff flag," and that's how they are.
It's very difficult to get volunteers to do this type of work. This year we've been very lucky. We've got some international American students working with us.
Yes. First thing, sign in. From New York, and I'm here on a study abroad program about sustainability. My program, we engage on a month-long internship, so I kind of pursued the library of stuff in Mullum Cares because I was interested in working to reduce low-quality, single-use consumer goods. It's like a super amazing thing that they're taking on, and I think it's like going to be so rewarding just to show people how feasible it is. It is weird because you don't think about like your trash after you throw it out. You don't ever think anything.
You know, these change type programs require incremental steps. So like we're kind of doing an audit while we're doing this work. So we're really getting to understand what types of waste they have. And then we'll be in a much better position after this year to put a proposal forward next year. So it's good for the show, guys, because last year when the 10-cent container deposit scheme came in, I don't know if you've seen, but over at the bar they've got cages, and they're, you know, so it's obvious that they want people to put their containers in that. But all of this has obviously been pulled out of the wheelie bins. So all of those probably went to landfill last year. So that was money that they didn't raise. So our efforts here are actually helping them, you know, collect more money through the container deposit scheme, which is good. I keep thinking I've got them all, and then there's more. Getting organisations like, you know, a long-standing event and organisation like the Mullum Show involved is really important, because we want to engage a really broad section of the community in raising awareness that this business as usual, sending everything to landfill, can be improved and should be improved.